be all sus, yeah. I just doubled up on crypto. I just doubled down on the new vest. Now my check looking like 2 checks. Type of money made me want a 2-step. Who next? This week I be on the moon next. Stock going up like 2x. That's a fast flip like suplex. Two really stepping like a duplex. You bet never lose change, but I do flex on it.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Crypto Weekly Review, home of the Wolf Pack. Oh man, just when you thought Bitcoin was done, it pops back up and blows through all resistances. And unironically, it got stopped at the 200 exponential moving average. It is consolidating up here, which is bullish. It is suggesting it's going to make another push, but there are some warning signs like the RSI. The RSI is one of the hottest in Bitcoin's history right here. This is the relative strength index. If we compare it to the 69K top, it is way hotter than the 69K top. In fact, it's even hotter than the first 65K top, but right on par with that. Oh shit, is Bitcoin bottoming? When we climbed out of the last bear market, you can see we hit these same levels in RSI, about 89, okay? But it came right back down and corrected to about the 50 range, giving you multiple times to buy. You could see it came down and rode the 21 exponential moving average all the way up to that peak before the cozy 19 low. I think it's going to give you chances to buy. You can see the divergence we have from the 21 exponential moving average. This is looking hot. It is looking overextended. Historically, we come back down and retest this. So if you are bullish, don't FOMO, wait for your opportunity to buy, and that would be around 18K. The bulls are absolutely euphoric, celebrating this beautiful rally, and the bears, like me, waiting for 13K to start DCAing, are wondering what the heck happened. We had $4 billion in buys in just 3 hours. When the market's liquidity depth is at historic lows, this forced shorts to cover, and the short squeeze was absolutely massive, with 731 million in liquidations in just the last 24 hours. Now, this is coming at a time when Bitcoin held on exchanges is at its historic lows. People are in hardware wallets. They're not ready to sell. People aren't trusting the exchanges. The market book depth is at historic lows. Liquidity is at historic lows, and bearish sentiment is high. Now, this is a perfect storm for $4 billion injected in 3 hours to wipe out the shorts. The bears were a little bit too cocky.
I don't give a f. Do I look like I give a fuck? Because I don't.
A few moments later.
So is 15K the bottom, and did I miss my chance to DCA in? Well, I'm going to use the same trading strategy that I used to sell the second 65K top. In fact, I still have a flashback from that video. We have bearish divergence inside of bearish divergence. Just full disclosure, I did take some profits and buy an Audi R8 and put some in USDC to be able to buy a dip. That doesn't mean that Bitcoin can't go to 100K. That doesn't mean that ETH can't go to 100K. It's just proper risk management. If it goes up from here, am I going to cry about all the missed profits I had? No, I'm not. The video quality on this channel has improved since the 65K top, thank God. Now, I sold right up here, but that was my trading position. Of course, I have a hodl position that I'm never going to sell. That's what gives you diamond hands in this bear market, knowing that, hey, if this thing reverses, I win. I will wait and jump in on a confirmation, right? If it goes lower, I win. Okay, if it goes lower, I use my trading position to buy. You have to set yourself up for no matter what happens, you are going to win. And that's how you should structure your entire life. Okay, that's what I do. I have no choice but to win. I'm a fucking winner, you know? So anyways, what did I do? I followed the daily downtrend. We have been rejecting the 21 exponential moving average, and we've been painting these bear flags that have been coming down in nice, orderly fashion. Now, if I were to get excited and start FOMOing and start buying on every single pump, I'd be wrecked like 26 times. There's been plenty of beautiful pumps. Not quite as beautiful as this maybe, but there's been plenty of beautiful pumps. So how do we know? What's the strategy? My strategy is we need to set a higher high. We gained the 21 exponential moving average. That's great. But look how far we're diverging from it. Usually it doesn't stay this hot, this high, especially with the RSI this hot. So what we need to do for me is to take out 21,500, start consolidating up here and have some follow through, Right here, we are waiting. I'm waiting for a consolidation. I'd like to see some support on the 21, like at about 18K. This is your opportunity if you want to make a play. Remember, there are no certainties. There are only probabilities in this game. Chasing moon pumps will get you wrecked. The trend is your friend until the end of the trend. That's why we say that. That's why I'm waiting for us to take out the previous high and show some follow through. I think we're gonna bottom in 2023, but I'm not convinced that this is the disbelief phase. If we look at the capitulation meme chart and juxtapose Bitcoin right on top of it, it's looking like we are climbing out of the anger phase. Is that just bear copium? I'll leave that up to you to decide. Another metric that I'm using is the S&P 500 downtrend. Now, ever since the bear market started, you can see it has been respecting this line. Now, the S&P 500 is basically global productivity, global market sentiment. Bitcoin has been moving lockstep with the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. And until we break this trend, until we pop out of this bear market, I am going to stubbornly wait to buy in. Everything was pointing to 13K, 14K, including the Bitcoin energy gravity model, where it takes 13,200 to print 1 BTC. Of course, I'm not going to be buying BTC. I'm going to be buying alts, but Bitcoin moves the market, and you can just tell just by looking at alt, Bitcoin is still king. So when Bitcoin confirms, when S&P confirms, I'm going to be aping into a bunch of shitcoins. I'll admit we could have already bottomed, but I know one thing, I'm not going to buy the biggest short squeeze since August of 2021. Now, a lot of this pump is predicated on the CPI numbers coming back at 6.5%, down from 9.1% at its peak. It's looking like inflation is under control and the Federal Reserve is going to slow down on raising rates. Everyone is expecting a 0.25 basis point hike in February 1st. This rally could very much well go all the way up until February 1st to the next big fun event. And on February 10th, the CPI numbers are even going to be cooler as the Bureau of Labor and Statistics is changing how they calculate the data. They're no longer going to use 2 years of previous data, but only 1. This is effectively cooking the books, making the CPI look better than it is. They've also been cooking the books by releasing 42% of the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. Energy is calculated in the CPI, so this is an artificial way to push it down. If you were to calculate the CPI how they did in the 80s, we'd be closer to 15 to 18%. And I don't know about you, but that's what it feels like when I'm going to the grocery store. I'm telling you all this because the people, the traders in Wall Street, the people who move these markets know this thing, and they could pull the rug right out from underneath us. If you want to go further down the rabbit hole in the current macro climate, check out my previous video 2 days ago. I go further down the rabbit hole on this stuff, and it's plenty entertaining too. But look, I'm not trying to be a buzzkill. This is a gorgeous move, all right? But I just think that I want to see this consolidate and see where we end up after the profit taking stops. What's going to happen when that 4 billion comes out of there? We have a lot of stuff going on. We got DCG insolvent. We got the SEC and Gary Gensler out here trying to protect us. There is plenty of gains to be had in this market. You're not going to catch the absolute top. You're not going to catch the absolute bottom. The 21 is a good metric. It's very, very sticky for price action. It always follows this, okay? So you want to be buying right around the 21 exponential moving average. If you really, really feel the FOMO, you can come over here and buy around 18K and hope. But another metric is the golden cross and death cross. You can see one right here. The 21, when it crossed the 200, signaled a long-term downtrend, and look, it did not cross all the way back down here. Think of all of the money you would have saved if you would have got out there, and when this thing crosses back over, that will signal a long-term uptrend in this market. Like I said, there's plenty of gains to be had. Don't feel the FOMO, don't get emotional, and don't get crazy. Aping into a candle is never really a good idea. A lot of this is just capital preservation. That's why I don't care if I miss a few percent on the way up to the next bull market. A lot of it is just surviving, having enough capital when the bull market gets started and getting in early. We all know what bull markets are like. No matter where you put your money, you're the Wolf of Wall Street, you know, you're Warren Buffett. Everything is pumping together. The tide lifts all boats. So don't get overextended leverage trading. Survive into the next bull market. I will admit I missed the pump signal of Miss El Salvador coming out as a Bitcoin turkey, and Miss USA literally came out as the moon. I guess I missed that glaring signal. Taking a look at Hex on the daily chart now, we did have a bunch of negative sentiment in Hex, especially after HexCon. Feel like it kind of bombed a little bit, but the sentiment is changing. We're having PLS updates. The hype is building and it's showing on the charts. Now, I sold Hex at about 45 cents and I've been calling for 1 penny. Recently, I've been calling for about half a penny. Now, we might not ever reach there, but we have to get above Hex 3.5 cents before I say the probabilities are going to get higher. This does look pretty good, but remember, we have not set a higher high yet. We have not broken this downtrend yet, but it is looking pretty good. Now, taking a look at some of the other DeFi associated with it, we got PLSB. It's still in a daily downtrend below the 21, not looking good, not moving as hard. Take a look at Shiba Inu, nice pump of Shiba Inu below the 200. Everything is moving lockstep. If you take a look at the Bitcoin chart, you take a look at all the other charts. However, alts are not moving as hard. Anyways, guys, that's about it. We're not going to do a bunch of news or anything like that in this video today because really markets are moving. We got to talk about the markets, and the news is just all bad news. You know what I mean? Let's look at on the bright side of things. The markets are looking good. They look like they could be reversing. Anyways, if you like what you saw, like and subscribe, join the wolf pack, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.